going to go live and give you 13 reasons why. Well, actually, just one. The reality is, I kind of feel like I have to almost admit that there's probably many other reasons why I should have canceled. As my wife is the head of the household. Then I could blame it on her, right? It could be like, you should have canceled this a long time ago. Jeez, and Pete, you're the head of the house, so come on. I do have pants on today, though, but, the pants in the family. Okay, that joke. Okay. Yeah. I was going somewhere, and then I was like, this is probably kind of weird. Squirrel. So we're here today to kind of give you the 13 reasons why we are going to cancel our subscription to Netflix. And yes, I do know that there are likely quite a few more reasons than that. There are quite a few reasons that we probably should have canceled it a long time ago. I think we've watched The Grinch on repeat quite a few times. It's like, we have the DVD. Why do we need Netflix for that? But on a serious note, the reason we decided to do this video, both me and my wife, this is my wife, beautiful wife, Anna, and our little baby, Ren. She just decided to go to sleep as soon as we started the video. Yay! Our other two will barge in here shortly, I'm sure. They're in the room. We thought about having our kids on video. Then I'm like, should we bring them in, invite them in over here? And then we're like, well, they're being good, and they'd probably wreak havoc on this video. I have enough trouble staying on topic.
Are you going to hold that the whole time? Or are you gonna
I think so. No, in case I need to do
that. Okay.
So say what you just said so that people can hear you, your lovely voice.
Okay.
Okay. So I get emails through Journal of Medical Association, British Medical Journal, all these different journals. The medical journals send me emails. Anybody can sign up for them. And this one came across my desk. I had never even heard of this series on Netflix. And it is. The series title is 13 Reasons Why.
I watched the first one.
You watched the first one. See, you never know who's going to watch it. Like, I did not know that.
I mean, it's been a while. When did the first season come out? I don't even know. Like, maybe 3.
My staff were like, I don't know. I didn't even know it existed. So that's what's scary to me.
I think it was like 3 years ago, because I think it was, binge watching whenever you have a new baby, and it was right when we had Magnolia.
I'm sure mothers could relate. Binge watching, nursing a baby on the couch, and letting your other 2 children run wild, not knowing where they are, and them going,
some other time. But anyway.
You're trying to use babies as excuses when she really can't use them as an excuse. I'm kidding. It was 2013? Is that what she said? 17. All right. Anyways, so I read the title, and I was like thinking to myself, suicide is a major issue in this nation, especially in our military members and especially in our children right now. It's truly should be heartbreaking to anybody that so many people are taking their life, and they have no hope for a better future, a better tomorrow. And I can't fathom losing my own children to that type of thing, to something like that. I can't imagine the heartache that goes through a mother and father's minds and hearts and spirits, the questioning of both their own lives, the value of their own lives after that, and then also the, where God is in this moment. So that's really just, I read the article, Association Increased Youth Suicides in the United States with the release of 13 Reasons Why. So this is in the aftermath. And I know that, and there's been other individuals within the Christian community and different communities calling for Netflix to cancel this series. From what I understand, the series goes through a suicide of a young woman, a young girl, commit suicide, and then people are finding out that they were part of the reasons why. I wish they would be, why not come out with a video series, documentary, or something that goes through someone's life being saved and being stopped short of suicide, and then being able to almost come to terms and find resolution and, just things that hurt them from other people, and finding that people would come and comfort them, that people would say they're sorry, that people would apologize and work with these individuals to make things right. Maybe that would be the next series that would actually benefit. But
just a series in general, like instead of coming from it like a negative perspective, like 13 reasons why this happened, instead of it being like a series in relation to a negative event, like why not have a series that's teaches
13 or 15 or 7 reasons why to keep your life.
Or how to, be a better human, and, just emotional intelligence of our children, and why we should be kind, and the effects that our negative behavior has on other people.
Yeah. The way we treat other people can be of huge detriment to their life and others. So maybe whatever number of ways you can treat people right, or ways we can make suicide decline in America and teach people what we should be doing instead of glorifying. What's that? Lower it. Glorifying, the reasons. They're literally pointing out the reasons why this young lady took her own life. And I'm sure, I've never watched a single episode, but I'm sure that several episodes probably hit home for other young women. And that's specifically what they found in this peer-reviewed medical study, this study in JAMA. They found that the increase, the meaning of the study comes to this: the increase in suicides in only the youth population, which really lends itself towards evidence of this series targeted a certain population. It was youth that were, the series was done on youth, a young girl. And a signal of a potentially larger proportion of increase in young females. So both in an increase only in the youth population of suicides. So suicides went up in the youth versus didn't increase at the same rate in other age populations. And then it also specifically spiked in young females. All appeared to be consistent with the media contagion, basically like spreading like a infection. That's what I always think when I read that word. And seem to reinforce the need for safer and more thoughtful portrayal of suicide in the media. So that is the conclusion. That's the study's meaning. What it found was there was a definite increase in suicide in young females after the release and the media hype and the spread and the observance of this Netflix series. And other people have called for them to cancel this series, to take it off the air. I understand that people have argued, I think you mentioned it to me, that probably people have argued that it brings awareness to suicide, but it brings awareness in the wrong way with the wrong message. Because the result, it doesn't matter even if they said, so if the heart of the individuals really, what is it when they direct? So direct, when the director of this series, Netflix itself, if they were in good morals and ethics wanting to bring light to suicide in our youth, then the result of what they've done is an increase in suicide. That is what's come about because of this. They may have meant well, according to what some are trying to say there, where their heart was, but ultimately the result was the exact opposite. More young girls especially have taken their own life, found no value in their life, and that's heartbreaking to me. And now that I'm a father of 2 young girls, it breaks my heart to think about that. And specifically when you can see documented that young girls, that police officers going in, being called in after a suicide of a young girl, and literally seeing the scene of this young girl committing suicide, that the police ask the parents, has she been watching 13 Reasons Why? Like, the police realized it just by seeing how the young lady, the young girl, took her own life, knowing that that was a trigger, that episode or the series was an episode or a trigger for that young girl. So that's, it's having a negative effect. And as a society, as people, we need to take a stand against evil or things that negatively impact and create evil thoughts and negative thoughts in our children. I need to do a lot better job at that. Like I said, there's a lot of other videos and movies and things on Netflix that could give us 100 and some reasons probably of why we need to and should have long ago canceled our Netflix subscription. But this is the way God spoke to me in my spirit, and immediately upon reading it, I called Anna and I said, Anna, this is what I want to do. Will you support me in this? Will you support this? And she, didn't bat an eye and was right on board with this. So what we want to ask people is if everybody would do the same as us. So we're going to, right in front of you, we're going to show you. There's Netflix, and we're going to do, hopefully my staff can walk me through how to do this. We go to the, right. So do I have to go to account, right? So I'm going to my account and cancel membership. Okay, yes, please email me about newly added. No. Okay, so finish cancellation. So, okay, why did you cancel your membership with us? I don't have time. Netflix is too expensive, too much buffering. I will replace Netflix with another video service. There aren't enough. I have the internet. Others. So I'm going to type this in if you want to hang on to that.
Totally. And we also realize that people are not as radical as us, but, go big or go home. And obviously there's 13 plus reasons why this should happen anyways. But like Dale said.
Someone commented, my 13-year-old cousin watched this before she committed suicide.
Wow.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Wow. I'm so sorry. That just goes to show you right there. A, we are so sorry and we are praying for your family. But B, just like, that's how close it hits to home, guys. Like, it's not like we have this tremendous following of people that, certainly nobody within our community would have something like this happen to you. That just goes to show you that it's real and it's happening, and we have to take a stance for that, Like, our children are worth it, and we need to be feeding them full of positivity and light, not darkness and sorrow.
So I typed in there that 13 Reasons Why, the series 13 Reasons Why, and I even linked the Journal of American Medical Association, and if you TWD in the comments on Facebook, here if it is Facebook Live where you're watching, not YouTube or other sources, you'll see that you can get those links and you can go there and do the same. But I linked it. I showed them. This is the result of that this series, not documentary. I don't know why I want to keep saying that, but just like my wife said, we need to speak into our youth positivity, love. The Spirit of Christ, his primary spirit of love, and just really
just teaching our kids the value of life and their worth as well. I think that's where a lot of this is stemming from, is not not. My brain just escaped me, but not telling them what their worth is, and where they can find their identity and where they can find their worth, which is in Christ. But, we're not doing that enough. We're just letting other people or other things, other TV shows parent our children, which is a whole nother topic. But,
And I think this series is just, it's the straw that broke the camel's back for many of these young girls and young youth. So we don't need these triggers out there, and we need to protect our children, and that's what we're doing for our own family, but we're also doing it because as a society, as a community of Christians and community of people, and even if you're not, and you love children and you want to see good and righteousness for children, you want to see good things happen in the child's life, and you don't want to see children taking their own life, then you can do the same. You don't have to be on the same page we are with our Christian beliefs at this time, but and we pray for you in that matter. But the reality is, if we can stand together, we can show industry, we can show in many different aspects, but this one specifically, we can stand up collectively and say we're not going to stand for something that would be out there that would increase the likelihood of a young woman or young girl taking their own life, our children committing suicide. So that's what we're doing as a family, and we're calling for everybody else out there to do the same. If God may speak to your heart or your spirit is just touched by this. I talked to my staff and my wife about this beforehand. I was like, we watched the Ice Bucket Challenge, and I'm always like, what really came about that except for funneling money? But now it's like, why not do a video challenge? So what we want to do as a family, we want to challenge you, if this speaks to you in such a way that would call upon you canceling your Netflix subscription, that you would video yourself canceling your Netflix subscription, and then in the other category, why you canceled it, call upon Netflix to cancel that series, do away with it because of the detrimental effect, the horribly detrimental effect it's had on the youth in this country and possibly the world. So video it and then tag Netflix is what we're thinking, and then also tag a family member, a friend, kind of like they did with the Ice Bucket, or different challenges with good spirit to challenge other people to stand up and take a stand against something like this that is ultimately having a detriment. It's not standing against people, it's standing against something that in the spiritual realm, it's having a negative effect on the minds, souls, and hearts of our children, and it's drawing them into that willingness to take their own life and see no hope for tomorrow and see no, I can't imagine what they go through right before it's heartbreaking. So that's why we did the video. So
should we do like some sort of giveaway? Like y'all can send your videos to us. Like
I would love to see other people's
challenge. Yeah, I mean I know that we would love to see it. Like I don't know.
I would love to see that it actually came about. Like this is what we feel God's spoken to us. So if you guys tag us too, tag the Wild Doc, Instagram it, tweet it, whatever we're supposed to do, like all that fun stuff, crazy stuff. Okay.
What?
What's that?
Tell them to tag it so we can find it.
Yeah, just tag the Wild Doc, and then so we can view them and we can see it. I hope it goes viral. I hope it has a contagion to affect industry, because we could imagine that it may not just affect, it wouldn't just affect Netflix. If this could be done in society, say we stand against this has done our children harm, and Netflix cancels the series, and then we can do that in other aspects, and other industries would then choose not to put out videos like this or series and TV shows or whatever you want to call it out there that could have this negative effect or other negative effects on our youth and children. And maybe we can really start drawing, entertainment into a positive light and not just doom, gloom, horror, killing, all this crazy stuff that we see nowadays. So we can have an effect. And that's what we're praying for, and that's what we hope that some of you will have your heart called upon to join us in. So, yeah. My wife will be on next week. I think we're doing, Friday?
We're going to do another joint video next Friday evening.
Speaking to the mic?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to do another joint video next Friday evening, 6 o'clock. If you're local, you can come. We'd love to have you here. We are going to do a live video on more geared towards women, but men are still welcome. Just like natural hair care, skin care, stuff like that. That's something that I know I've been super passionate about, and I know a lot of women who have a lot of questions. So we're going to do a little video on that, but it's also going to be a live event here in the office. So if you want to come, just shoot us a message and we'll get you on the list. And yeah, it should be fun. And maybe if people, I don't know, like to see us, our faces together, we'll start doing more. Who knows?
So we do appreciate you. We do hope that everybody would share the video. Don't just like it, because if we just like things that are positive and light and we don't share them, we ultimately don't have the reach and the effect that we desire personally, and we know that you desire as well, I'm sure, to have a positive impact on children's lives. And I know that some people have, already commented and stuff and said that it's, it's more goes back to parenting and different things like that. There are so many reasons why people are committing suicide today. There's so many reasons why our military members are committing suicide at such extreme rates. And so there's a lot of things that can be done. This is just one, and if that is the trigger, or that is what pulls the trigger for a child, then we want to at least do our best to remove a little bit of a trigger. But we know for sure that the source of why people are taking their own lives is much deeper than just a series on Netflix. So it's not like we're blaming Netflix. You are the reason why. But especially when parents had never even known that they're, again, it comes back to, you could say parenting, but the reality is,
I think there's a lot of great parents
there's a lot of times
victim
to stuff like this.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah, that they really wished better for their children, but then their children were dealing with things at school. Their parents had no idea. It's very difficult for some teenagers to open up to their parents, you could imagine. And then all it took was the child seeing this, seeing how it was done, and being driven emotionally into a state of, hopelessness. So that's why we're doing it. So we hope you're all blessed by this, and hope you'll join us for future videos and things like that. And we'll have Anna on some more in the near future, and the kiddos. So
I'll probably just be doing this.
so we love you all, and we appreciate you all for tuning in today. And please, again, share the truth. Don't just like it. It's the only way we save lives.
Bye, guys. Bye.